Cincinnati Bengals and the Arizona Cardinals. This is now an expensive 3 at most places in favor of Cincinnati. 44.5 is your total. Adam, you alluded to it in the last game that we talked about in the Eagles and the Rams. We've said this. We've said it for the last 3 weeks here. I'm going to keep beating the drum. Joe Burrow's playing at 60% at best. I mean, like, it's just, he can't do anything in the pocket. He literally has taken away an entire aspect of his game, right? I mean, like, we are talking about a guy that, yes, he's not Lamar Jackson or anything. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But Joe Burrow is fairly mobile, and certainly fairly mobile when it comes to a dude that goes and kind of picks up those little short first downs to extend drives, or the pocket collapses and he's able to slide out and then let Chase get open, or let one of these other guys get open. Like, that's kind of an underrated thing that we don't really, that people, I don't think, talk about enough when it comes to all that. And I just look at this in under the radar, Adam. Joe Burrow last year ran for nearly 300 yards, and also picked up double-digit first downs with his feet over the course of the season as well. Like I said, extending those drives, making these plays that help the team continue to go down and score on. It doesn't exist with him anymore. It's like he's doing them a disservice being out there, but I get it. He's gonna play as long as he can. I can't back him. I took the 4.5 with the Cardinals. Everyone else took the 4.5 with the Cardinals as well. It's all the way down to 3 right now. I still would probably only be Cardinals or pass. What say you?
All right, so this is the game and the team that I did my deepest dive on this week, because I was wrong last week on Cincinnati. They got blown out by the Titans, and I wanted to see what's going on. So I want to give some credit to Paul Dehner Jr. at The Athletic, their beat writer, because he's done some fantastic dives. So settle in here for a second. I'm going to hold on to the microphone for a moment as I tell you some of the statistics that he's looked up. I will skip the part about Burrow and his mobility in third downs because you just covered it well. Dehner also covers that very well in what he did. Okay, get ready for some statistics that are going to take you off the Cincinnati Bengals for as long as Joe Burrow is playing. He just became the first player in NFL history to throw at least 150 passes in his team's first 4 games and average fewer than 5 yards per attempt. Okay, he's 2 for 22 throwing the ball more than 15 yards in the air this year. They are 25th in third down conversion percentage, as you mentioned there, Matt. On 3rd and 4 or less, they are 20th converting this year. They were 4th last season. They have 0.9 points per drive, the lowest number in the NFL since 2020. Okay, I'm not done. I'm just kind of settling in here. Joe Burrow against the blitz was something you did not do in his first couple of years. Yards per attempt, 2021, 10.3. Yards per attempt, 2022, 8. Yards per attempt, I should say 2021, then 2022. Now in 2023, 4.6 yards per attempt for Joe Burrow. 2 years ago, he completed 69% of his passes against the blitz. This year, 51.5 because he can't move. Touchdowns against the blitz. Last year, 13. This year so far, 1. Scrambles against the blitz, 0 thus far this year. I probably could go on and on about that, but here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you some on the other side to tell you why you can't just rely on the Cincinnati defense. Here's what Big Lou, everyone's favorite on this podcast, has done. The Bengals have allowed 35 explosive plays. So that's 10 or more on a rush, 20 or more on a catch through 4 weeks. They're tied with the Denver Broncos for that right now. That's 12 more than they gave up last year. Since Lou Anarumo arrived in Cincinnati, in 2019, they had allowed 170 or more rushing yards once before this season. They've done that 3 times in 4 games. Here's what DJ Reader, their number 1 run stopper, said after the last game. Quote, "It's a will thing. You have to want to do it. Sometimes guys don't want to do it. You have bad technique, and that's a product of you not wanting to do it, that play." Okay. Have I given you enough to realize that whatever you thought of Cincinnati before the year is not there? It is not. And so I will let you guys handle the rest of the Arizona evaluation because I think there are a lot of good things that you can say about Arizona. The best money line number I can find on Arizona right now is plus 144. The best alt at 2.5 that I can find is about plus 187. The best alt at minus 5.5 that I can find on Arizona is at about 257 right now. And I can endorse any of them that you want to play because this Cincinnati team is a shell on both sides.
I almost think if they lose this game, they should punt on the season. You can't afford to pay Chase and Higgins. Pay Chase, let Higgins walk, use your high draft pick on one of these receivers in the draft and like go from there, right? I mean, it's just, I actually sold it short, Steven. Last season, Joe Burrow ran 75 times for 257 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 28 first downs. 28 first downs that he picked up with his legs last year. If that, again, just to let you know what is missing from this offense is the guy that can go and extend drives and and move the chains and keep this going. That is just non-existent. He has 8 attempts for 3 yards this year. 8 for 3 is what we have going on right now with Joe Burrow. So again, it's just, he's injured. He should be sitting on the sideline. Me and you can't coach the team. So it is what it is.
Well, apparently he's healthy because he's off the injury report.
Yeah,
guys.
I know. Yeah, we know. Yeah.
He's not healthy, everybody. No. He's not healthy just because he's off the injury report. Oh, by the way, T. Higgins apparently is going to play with a fractured rib this week. That's how desperate this team is.
He's trying to get paid is why he's doing that.
Unbelievable. All right, Cardinals offense, top 10 in yards per play in the NFL a month into the season, despite having games on the schedule against Dallas and San Francisco. Top 6 in rushing offense by EPA and success rate. Part of that, Josh Dobbs, top 3 in the NFL in designed quarterback runs behind only Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. That's why one of our staff writers, Jeffrey Schreiber, is pinpointing Dobbs for an anytime touchdown in this game, FYI. The Cincinnati defense has been just as bad as the Cincinnati offense, to Adam's point. And I think we have to come off the priors on Arizona here that they are not even close to the worst team in the NFL at this point. They've been impressive. And I think the Eagles coaching staff last season has proven to be one of the best in a very long time. This has been fantastic. So I also grabbed Cardinals plus 4.5, shared it in the Discord with our lines.com free Discord members. I think at this point at 3,
it might go back to 3.5 though. It's an expensive 3 as we're recording this. So like it might go to 3.5. And like, as Adam talked about with a couple of these other games, whenever they announce officially blah, blah, blah is going to play and blah, whatever, like you might get the 3.5. And if you get the hook, then that would be the time to pounce. It's not going to go under 3 for sure. So you're not going to get a worse. Yeah.
I'm agreed. I think we're all 3 of us are in agreement that you just can't bet Cincinnati at this point. And I've heard other shows talk about buying low on the Bengals, and this is the cheapest we've seen. And if it's not now, then ever. They're injured. Like it's all those arguments make sense if they were healthy. They're not healthy. So if you're really desperate to like try and buy low on the Bengals for some reason, don't play them on the spread. Just take the over 44.5 because Arizona's defense is bottom 6 in everything. Like the defense is horrible. And I just laid out a really good case, I think, for why the Cardinals offense is going to be able to move the ball in this game as well. So, but I'm with you. I'd rather just, bet against injuries once again in this game.